Have you ever wondered if there is a wrong time to masturbate, especially after 65? Most people think of self pleasure as a harmless act, and for the most part, it is. But what many don't realize is that timing matters more than ever. As you age after 65, your body's systems become more delicate. Your heart, your blood pressure, your circulation, and engaging in certain activities at the wrong moment can quietly put strain on your system. In this video, we're going to explore 5 specific times when doctors strongly recommend that older adults avoid any form of self-stimulation. These aren't scare tactics. They're practical reminders to help you stay safe, steady, and in sync with the natural changes your body's going through. Stick around until the end, because learning when not to can be just as important as knowing when it's okay. And making small adjustments now could protect your energy, your clarity, and even your long-term health. Let's begin. Number 1, during blood pressure spikes, you might not always feel it happening, but even in the calm of your own home, your blood pressure can surge triggered by stress, a poor night's sleep, dehydration, or even certain medications. And when that happens, engaging in any activity that naturally increases heart rate or physical tension can push your system past a safe limit. For people over 65, blood vessels are not as elastic as they once were. The heart works a little harder, the margin for error shrinks, and during a spike, especially when you don't notice, you may be one breath, one heartbeat away from dizziness, nausea, or worse. The concern isn't just discomfort, it's risk. Any exertion during these elevated moments can strain the arteries, increase the workload on your heart, and potentially trigger an arrhythmia, or in rare cases, a cardiac event. I remember a story about a man named Leon, 76. He had just finished watching a tense news segment and felt worked up. Though he didn't fully realize how much, he went to take a shower, decided to unwind privately, and within minutes felt a tightness in his chest that forced him to sit. His blood pressure was unusually high, and his doctor later said he'd narrowly avoided a more serious event. This doesn't mean you have to track every heartbeat or live in fear, but if you know you've been under stress, or if you've been diagnosed with hypertension, it's wise to check in with your body first. Do you feel flushed? Do your hands feel shaky? Or your head cloudy? Is your pulse unusually strong or fast? If so, wait, hydrate, breathe deeply for a few minutes. Let your system settle before any physical stimulation. A calm body handles stimulation better. It knows what to do, when to do it, and how to return to rest without overreacting. Number 2, right after eating, it might seem harmless. You finished a comforting meal. You feel relaxed and the house is quiet, but engaging in any kind of physical exertion, especially the kind that elevates heart rate right after eating, may pose unexpected risk for older adults. Here's why. After a meal, your body directs a significant portion of blood flow toward digestion. That means your heart and brain momentarily receive less oxygen-rich blood, especially if the meal was large or high in fat. In someone over 65, whose circulation may already be a bit slower, or whose arteries are narrower than they used to be, this shift can create a temporary mismatch between what your body needs and what it's able to deliver now. When you add physical activity of any kind on top of that, your body suddenly has to split its resources. It's digesting, it's pumping, it's adjusting pressure and heart rate at the same time. And that's where symptoms can arise. Some people feel dizzy, others feel lightheaded, foggy, or flushed. There was a man named Gerald, 74, who always had a light breakfast, followed by a quiet moment alone to relax before starting his day. But one morning, he skipped his usual pause and went straight into a physically exertive routine. Within minutes, he felt faint and had to lie down. His doctor later explained that his blood pressure had dropped too suddenly because his body was still working to digest breakfast. The takeaway: give yourself a window of rest after eating, ideally 45 to 60 minutes, before doing anything that increases circulation, blood pressure, or physical tension. That includes exercise, yard work, and yes, even private self-care. This isn't about fear, it's about rhythm, giving your body the time it needs to complete one function before layering on another. After 65, your timing matters more than ever, not just for comfort, but for safety. It's a simple adjustment, a small pause, but it's one of those choices that helps you feel clearer, steadier, and more in tune with your body as it changes. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 3, when experiencing chest discomfort or breathlessness. Not every warning sign is dramatic. In fact, some of the most important ones show up quietly: a subtle tightness in your chest, a short breath while walking across the room, or a sense of fatigue that doesn't match your activity level. And yet, this is when many people try to push through or distract themselves. But after 65, those small signs are your body's way of saying, not now. Any physical exertion, including solo activity, raises your heart rate and increases the demand for oxygen. That's perfectly normal in a healthy body, but when your heart isn't working at full capacity or if your arteries are narrowed, these demands can overwhelm the system in an instant. You might feel a heaviness in your chest, a slight pressure behind your breastbone, a flutter, or a pause in your heartbeat. These aren't things to brush off. They're signs that your heart needs rest, not effort. There was a man named Dennis 80 who'd had borderline heart issues for years. One evening, after feeling a little tight in his chest from moving furniture earlier in the day, he tried to unwind in a private moment of comfort. Halfway through, he became flushed and disoriented. His blood pressure had dropped suddenly while his heart rate surged. He recovered, but his cardiologist later told him that even mild chest discomfort should always be respected as a red flag. Your body knows what it needs, and when something feels off, it's not being fussy. It's being wise at this stage in life. Learning to listen to subtle cues can mean the difference between a peaceful evening and an urgent one. Chest discomfort, shortness of breath, unusual fatigue. These are signals to pause, not push to rest, not resist. Give yourself that grace, you've earned it. There's no prize for forcing your way through discomfort, but there is peace in knowing you took care of yourself before things escalated. Sometimes the most powerful act of self-care is waiting until the body says, yes, number 4. Late at night when overtired, there's something about nighttime that feels quiet, personal, and reflective for many people. It's the time they finally have to themselves. But after 65, the hours just before bed can be surprisingly vulnerable, and choosing that moment for physical exertion or stimulation, especially when you're overtired, may do more harm than good. When the body's exhausted, several things happen at once. Cortisol, the stress hormone, rises, blood sugar drops, the nervous system becomes more reactive. Add to that a sleep-deprived brain and a heart that's already slowed into rest mode, and you have a recipe for imbalance. What might feel like winding down can actually confuse your internal systems. Instead of preparing for restful sleep, your body has to switch gears, raising heart rate, increasing blood pressure, and flooding your system with stimulation it wasn't ready for. There was a man named Harold 77 who had trouble falling asleep and often turned to solo stimulation to help settle his nerves. But over time, he noticed that instead of sleeping better, he was waking up more at night, feeling more drained in the mornings, and struggling with light-headedness during the day. His doctor explained that the overstimulation late at night was disrupting his body's natural sleep hormones and throwing off his rest cycles. It's easy to forget that arousal isn't just about mood, it's about chemistry, and when you introduce it during the body's recovery window, it can have ripple effects that impact memory, blood pressure, and even mood the next day. That's why timing matters. Early evening during calm hours, when you're still alert and your body is balanced, tends to be safer. But once the signs of exhaustion kick in, dry eyes, shallow breath, or that foggy, irritable feeling, it's best to focus on rest. Sleep is already more fragile after 65. Let it come without interference. Let your body follow its natural rhythm. There's a time for stimulation and a time for stillness. And late at night, when your body is whispering for peace, that's the time to listen. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 5, during recovery from illness or surgery, when you're on the mend, whether from the flu, a recent fall, or even something more serious like surgery, it's natural to crave normally, to want to return to routines that feel familiar. But one of the most overlooked times to avoid any form of physical exertion, including self-stimulation, is during the body's recovery phase. Why? Because your body is already doing a tremendous amount of behind-the-scenes work, healing tissue, fighting off inflammation, rebalancing hormones, processing medications, and any extra demand placed on the heart, lungs, or nervous system, no matter how brief, can pull precious energy away from where it's most needed. This is especially important if you're taking medications that affect circulation, blood pressure, or fluid balance, beta blockers, diuretics, certain pain relievers. These can all alter your body's response to arousal or physical stress. What was once routine might now lead to dizziness, chest discomfort, or an uneven heartbeat. A woman named Eileen, 75, had knee replacement surgery and was recovering well at home one afternoon. Feeling more like herself again, she decided to test her comfort level just to feel normal. Within minutes, she felt flushed weak and had to lie down. Her body simply wasn't ready yet. Her physical therapist later reminded her just because the mind is ready doesn't mean the body is the safest rule of thumb. Wait until your body feels fully stable, until your breathing is easy, your energy is consistent, and your blood pressure is steady throughout the day. Talk to your doctor if you're unsure, especially if you've had heart issues, orthopedic procedures, or are recovering from any condition that limited your mobility or required bed rest. Healing takes patience, and honoring your body's timeline isn't weakness. It's wisdom. By giving yourself time, you're not giving something up. You're giving your body the space it needs to return stronger, steadier, and more responsive when the time is right. Final thoughts as we wrap up today's video. Take a moment to think about what you've just learned. These aren't rules meant to scare you. They're insights meant to protect you. After 65, your body still deserves pleasure, connection, and comfort, but it also deserves timing that supports your health, not works against it. Which of these moments surprised you the most? Have you ever noticed how your body reacts differently depending on when you choose to masturbate? Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share your support. Helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.